Hello students, this is Pushdeep Carlote and today we are going to discuss the chapter Water, a True Exiler. So let us discuss this chapter that is written by Dr. D.V. Jindal, who is a renowned author. The author, Dr. D.V. Jindal, is a senior lecturer, PES, retired as the head of the Department of English from SCT Government College, Ludhiana. And I also did my MA in SCT Government College Ludhiana and he was my teacher. It's an honor for me that today I'm going to discuss a chapter that is written by him. He is a PhD in English. He was also the MA topper from the Himachal Pradesh University, Shimla. Apart from this, he was All India topper in postgraduate diploma in teaching of English from Central Institute of English and Foreign Languages, Hyderabad. He is a well-known author of several books on language and literature, and it's a sad thing that he is now no more between us. So let us talk about the chapter, the introduction of the chapter, that is Water, a True Exiler. Water is one of the most important gifts of nature to man. It is an essential to life as air. Life is not possible without air or water, but with the advancement of civilization, it sometimes goes unnoticed that air and water, the two lifelines of this universe, are being polluted every day. We are seeing here and there that there is a lot of pollution in the water that is causing very serious diseases. A day might come when this level of pollution increases so much that life becomes impossible. In this situation, air would become too toxic to be breathed in and water would become poisonous. Are we not thus robbing or disinheriting our future generations from this legitimate right to live? We must set things right before it's too late. If the present generation does not read the writings on the walls, it would be willfully closing its eyes and pushing the future of mankind into jeopardy and extinction. So, students, this chapter is based upon the importance of water in our life. During the corona period, we all have seen that while we all were sitting in the houses, the water and the air had become pure because there was less pollution outside. But nowadays, again, as the technology is boosting day by day and we are developing new infrastructure, we are again polluting the water by using chemicals in our agricultural things and also industrialization. So these things are affecting the water very much, and this is a disastrous situation that is being caused in the world nowadays. So this chapter is very important, that will define the concept of water, why it's so important for us, and we should, as human beings, always think that earth is not ours, as it's an African saying, it belongs to the future generations as well. So, being a responsible citizen of the country, it is our duty to protect water in this earth and to make it divine and pure for the future generations so that they can sustain life in future. So let us discuss the chapter. Let us discuss some of the glossary related to this chapter. First of all, we are going to discuss the word civilization. Civilization is the society, culture, and a way of life in a particular area. We have listened about different types of civilization, like the Indus Valley civilization that was very prominent in earlier generations. So next word is sophisticated. Sophisticated means complicated and developed. So next is reservoir. Reservoir means a large lake used as a source of water supply. That is called reservoir, and it is the need of the day to create reservoirs to store water. Next word is disinherit. Disinherit means to prevent somebody, especially son or daughter, from receiving one's money or property after death. Then is resource. Resource is a supply of something that a country or an organization or a person has and can use specially to increase their wealth, that are called resources. We have natural resources like water, air, and vegetation. These are natural resources between us. Then there is a word called legitimate. Legitimate means valid, justifiable, and legal. Next slide, we are going to discuss more words related to the chapter, like the words that is extinction. Extinction is a situation in which a plant, an animal, or way of life stops existing. Like tiger had become an extinct species, and the government took various initiatives for to retain the existence of tigers. Then is acquainted. Acquainted means familiar with something, having read, seen, or experienced it. Next word is epic. Epic means a long poem or a great subject, on a great subject. Next, we can talk about the word fertilizer. Fertilizer is a chemical or natural substance added to the soil or land to increase its fertility. Farmers usually use fertilizers to regain the fertility of the plants that they grow. Next is pesticides, a substance used to destroy harmful insects or organisms that may damage the crops, that is called pesticides. Next is decade. Decade is a period of 10 years. So period of 10 years is called a decade. Moving on to a next slide, it's sprinkle. Sprinkle is a device that sprays water. For spraying water in the field, sprinkles are used, as you can see in the picture. Then the next word is drip. Drip is the action, water falling steadily in small drops. Next is furrow. A long narrow drain made in ground for irrigation purposes is called furrow. Next is serpentine. Serpentine is bending, twisting like a snake, winding, that is, you can see in the picture. Then is gloomy. Gloomy is nearly dark, badly lit in a way that makes you feel sad and depressed. So, these were some of the words that are related to the chapter. I hope their meaning have been clear to you. Let's move on to a next slide, and we are going to discuss the summary of the chapter, Water, a True Auxiliary. In this essay, Water, a True Auxiliary, the author brings out how water is essential to plant and human life. So it's the main source of life on the earth. The author brings out how water is essential to plant and human life and how it also causes evils like soil erosion. He also tells excess of water can be preserved for good purposes. Water is the auxiliary of life. Water is everywhere on our planet, in the air, in our bodies, in our food, and in our breath. Without it, life would not be possible. Water is the foundation of food and life. We cannot live without water. So, this chapter discusses the importance of water in our life. Then next we are talking about water. It covers about 75% of our planet. 97% of that water is salty ocean water and remaining 3% is fresh water. Most of it is frozen in glaciers and polar ice caps, so only 1% of the Earth's water is available for drinking. Dr. C.V. Raman, he says that the importance of water, he says that man attempted to seek an imaginary auxiliary of life, the divine Amrita, to confer him immortality, as we have discussed in the tales also. But it ended in vain. According to him, water is the true source, it's the true auxiliary of life. This is why most of our civilizations and important cities grew on the banks of big rivers only. The Indus Valley civilization that flourished along the banks of the river Indus had one of the most sophisticated urban water supply and sewage systems in the world. In the forest, water seeps gently into the grounds as vegetation breaks the flow of water. This groundwater in turn feeds wells, lakes, and rivers. In ancient India, people believed that forests were the mothers of rivers and they worshipped the forest. Water is also a source of beauty and joy. It adds to the beauty of nature. Little stream trickling down the rocks, brooks and rivers dancing down the presents beautiful scenes to the eyes. We have discussed about the source of beauty in William Wordsworth's poem also, where he talks about water and nature as well. A great writer compares water in landscape to the eyes in a human face. There are various nature poets who have talked about water as the main source of beautification in nature. Rising populations, growing industrialization, and expanding agriculture have increased the demand for water. Efforts have been made to collect water by building dams and reservoirs and digging wells. Conservation of water has become the need of the day. So this is a point that needs to be stressed, that is that we need to conserve water as this has become the need of the day. Conservation of water in the agriculture sector is essential, but depleting water table and a rise in salinity due to overuse of chemical fertilizers and pesticides is something serious. So these things are causing an alarming thing in our whole environment. We can see in the pictures also the scenarios where women are struggling to gain water, and we can also see there are 1.2 million people where water is just not coming to them, and they are going in outer areas to get water, and they are going carrying pots on their head, and they are carrying water in those pots. So this is a very serious situation that needs to get attention. This means that water in Punjab will not remain fit for drinking in the next 20 to 25 years. High levels of arsenic, nitrates and heavy metals in water are causing severe health problems across the whole of the Punjab. Departments of soil conservation, irrigation, electricity and agriculture should work in cohesion to meet this challenge. Due to the overexploitation of water resources, the groundwater levels are going down by 60 centimeter every year. So we can see that we are polluting the rivers as well. That is causing serious problems in our water purification, and they are causing many diseases for the human generation that is coming nowadays. In order to reach the water table, farmers are forced to dig deeper and deeper into the ground and use more power to pump out that water. The excessive decline in water table is resulting in low discharge of tube wells, deepening of pits and tube wells, replacement of low-cost centrifugal pumps with costly submersible pumps. So it is pity that nowadays we see submersible pumps all around our houses, where we are trying to dig deep and deep and use the groundwater that we feel that is fit to drink. So moving on to next slide, in the state, major share of water is taken by rice wheat cropping system. Nowadays we are also sowing rice wheat cropping that is consuming a lot of water. It may be noticed that 1 kilogram of rice consumes 3,500 to 4,000 liters of water for its growth. Therefore, it is the requirement of the present situation to change the traditional cropping pattern. So this is a need of the day, and government is also taking efforts, and it's awareing the farmers not to sow these types of crops that consume a lot of water. There's need to switch over to the technologies related to soil and agronomic management to save water. So these technologies include planting and transplanting of crops, irrigation scheduling, new irrigation methods, that is sprinkler, drip, furrow. These types of things help us, these technologies help us in conservation of water and in better farming techniques. For using available water resources effectively and efficiently, water users associations should be constituted. Various technologies for enhancing artificial groundwater recharge should also be adopted. We must hear the warning bells. Every drop of water is precious and needs to be saved. So, we have discussed the summary of the chapter Water, a True Exile, and now we will be discussing the questions related to this chapter. I hope the summary of this chapter must be clear to you. It's the need of the day to conserve and save water to maintain its purity and sanctity, because water is a true exile and various associations should be constituted, and government should take some strict steps to conserve the water that is a need of the hour. So let us discuss some of the questions and answers related to this topic.